Very good morning, students. Let me continue from the previous lesson, previous video class. The last class we studied about emergence of new dynasties. In that topic, I explained the concept of Samanta. Samanta is a subordinate king. I also explained about how this Samanta over a period of time they change their titles as Maha Mandaleshwara, or even I gave example of few Samantas declared their independence. Why I am explaining this concept once again? The topic of Hiranya garbha, which I have not explained in the last class, I am explaining in this class to you. Cadets, during the medieval Indian history, by the 7th century, there was a large change in the system of administration. In India, several regions or places were controlled by the landlords or zamindars. These landlords or zamindars, once they lost their power, they themselves turned as Samantas or subordinates. The subordinates or Samantas, they remained Samantas under the powerful kings or dynasties, which I explained in the last class. The second point, let us see, the existing kings often considered them as subordinates or Samantas. Existing kings consider whom? The existing kings considered landlords as Samantas or subordinates. When Samantas gained wealth and power, they declared themselves as Maha-Samanta or Maha Mandaleshwara, which I explained in the last class. Maha Mandaleshwara means Mandala means a region or a place. A person who controls a larger territory or a place, he declared himself with that high sounding title called Maha Mandaleshwara. Even I explained the example of Sirajuddaula. Sirajuddaula declared his independence after death of Aurangzeb, that is in the year 1707. Point number 4. For example, Rashtrakuta dynasty in Deccan part of India, the same Rashtrakuta dynasty were once they were Samanta or subordinates of Chalukya kingdom, but when Chalukya kingdom lost the supremacy, because we studied in the previous lessons that Chalukyas started ruling in the 3 different capitals, Chalukyas of Badami, Chalukyas of Vengi, and do you remember one more, that is Chalukyas of Kalyani. So when Chalukya dynasty lost its supremacy, Rashtrakuta kings declared their independence. There was also a system called Hiranya garbha. There is a reference of Hiranya garbha in your textbook. Now, what is this ritual of Hiranya garbha? Point. Cadets, concentrate. Point number 5. Hiranya garbha. Hiranya garbha was a ritual performed by the king of Rashtrakuta dynasty. It is, don't think that only Rashtrakuta dynasty performed this ritual. Many others also performed this ritual. Now, what is the meaning of Hiranya garbha? Hiranya garbha means the golden womb. Actually, in the historical period or in the past, there were several rituals practiced in India. You may be heard the story of Ashwamedha in Ramayana. Ashwamedha is nothing but leaving a horse or a ashwa or a horse, and few commanders or kings, they go along with this horse to protect that horse. wherever the horse was tied by the kings, the king has to win the battle or has to surrender himself. Ashwamedha. Like that, we also heard about Putra Kamestri. The king wanted to have children. He performed the Putra Kamestri. So like that, Hiranya garbha was one kind of ritual. Now, Hiranya garbha, what is the meaning or what is the use of this ritual those days? Observe point number 6. Hiranya garbha means the golden womb. It was thought that the ritual would lead to the rebirth of the performer at Kshatriya, because in those days there were defined rules or defined jobs, means Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Brahmana, they used to do the works related to temple. Kshatriya, the work of Kshatriya was to take care of the people, welfare of the people. Vaishya is nothing but a person who was taking care of trade and commerce, and Shudra is a person who used to help all other three categories. Now, if a Brahmin or a non-Kshatriya, for example, wanted to declare himself as a king, so he used to perform this ritual. That is what we speak about Hiranya garbha. Concentrate on point number 7. Kadamba, Mayurasharma and Harichandra of Gurjara dynasty were Brahmins by birth, but they gave up their traditional work and took arms and established their kingdom. Let me explain the story of Mayurasharma. Mayurasharma was Brahmin by birth. When he was involved in education in Gurukul those days, an incident occurred one day when he was, after taking bath, he was drying the clothes on the banks of river. Pallava soldiers, when they passed in that area, they rudely behaved with Mayurasharma, insulted him that you cannot do anything because you are a Brahmin. Brahmin means you are not expert in warfare. You are a person who deals with a sacred grass, garbha, which is used to perform ritual. This incident provoked Mayurasharma, and Mayurasharma took an oath that I will defeat Pallavas of Kanchi and establish the kingdom. So as a result, Mayurasharma went on discovering more warfare techniques, and he changed his name as Mayuravarma and he established Kadamba dynasty. So Mayurasharma, Kadambas of Banavasi, they were very popular kings of Karnataka. So Kadamba, Mayurasharma and Harichandra of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty, they also performed the ritual of Hiranya garbha. So they performed the ritual to establish their own kingdom. So children, try to understand the meaning of Hiranya garbha. Hiranya garbha means a golden womb. The ritual was performed to declare the performer as Kshatriya. Let us move to the next major topic of this chapter. We discussed about Chola kingdom in brief in the previous slides. Children, try to understand. In the medieval Indian history, we consider the rule of two kingdoms as golden age. The Gupta kingdom was considered as golden age of north, as at the same time in down south the Chola kingdom was considered as the golden age of the medieval Indian history. Why the Chola kingdom was considered as the golden age? Because of their greatest contribution in the construction of temples, art, architecture, literature, even bureaucracy, what today we we are seeing the government offices, bureaucracy, metallurgy, the advanced metallurgy, bronze statues and all those very mystery even today, the Thanjavur temple. These are all contributions of Chola kingdom. So let us move to the topic of Chola kingdom. Chola kingdom was founded by Vijayalaya by defeating Pallavas. Cadets, we discussed about Pallavas in previous also when reference to Kadambas. Initially, Cholas had a capital at Uriyur. Means even Cholas were not the independent kings. They were also feudatories or subordinates under the Pallavas. But later, when Rajaraja Chola was a so powerful king of Chola kingdom, Rajaraja Chola and his predecessors developed a new capital, that is in Thanjavur. So Thanjavur or Thanjavur was the capital of Chola kingdom. Who are the greatest Chola kings? Rajaraja Chola, his son Rajendra Chola, Virajendra Chola were few greatest kings of Chola kingdom. Rajaraja Chola was known for his excellent style of construction, architecture. Rajendra Chola was known for exploring the navy, and he sent his people even to several South Asian countries, even to Sri Lanka. The famous temple of Thanjavur, even today it's a mystery because of the way of style of construction, and it is always said that near to Thanjavur area hardly we can find huge storage of these kind of resources, and even 100,000 years over, even today the temple is one of the greatest example of the importance of Chola architecture. Rajaraja Chola was the greatest king of Chola dynasty. Let us take the closer look of Chola dynasties. Cholas were subordinates of Pallavas of Kanchi or Kanchipuram. We studied in previous slide that Chola kingdom was established by Vijayalaya. Remember this name. Vijayalaya built the town of Thanjavur and the temple for the goddess Nishumabhasudini. His successor Vijayalaya conquered, and later part the Chola kingdom grew into a huge powerful kingdom. The reason for this was when Chola kingdom became very powerful, they started capturing the neighboring territories which belongs to Pandya and Pallavas. So territories belongs to Pandya and Pallavas were captured by the Chola king during the time of Rajaraja Chola. Rajaraja Chola was considered as the most powerful king of Chola kingdom. He expanded his control over almost entire areas of south, and I already explained the Rajaraja Chola's son Rajendra Chola he expanded his power not only in Indian subcontinent, even near to Sri Lanka and other Southeast Asia, by developing a strong navy.